Hey, this is Matt once again. We're about to another video, and this is a paid request. This time from QJC. QJC wanted me to react to an article from CBR.com. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, whether it be a request, topic, reaction, review, commentary, re-review, randomness, out of the blueness, whatever it may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box down below. Now, the article you wanted me to react to is 10 things the Star Wars Trilogy sequel did perfectly. 10 things it did perfectly. Nothing. Nothing was done perfectly, so already David Harth. It's a bunch of BS. It does, I mean, the guy does say the resulting trilogy made a lot of missteps. It wasn't as well received as everyone thought it would be. There are many lessons that be learned from the sequel trilogy, but that doesn't mean it's all bad. So, I mean, I guess it's a little bit fair, but at the same time, 10, the dialogue is way better. The prequel trilogy has a lot of problems, and even though it's got a reevaluation by fans, partly because of the negative reaction to the sequels, there's one thing that even the most ardent prequel fans will admit: the dialogue is pretty terrible. George Lucas is a 10-year for that sort of thing. It's one place where the sequels excel. Besides some grown-worthy jokes, like Poe's Yo Mama joke to General Hux, and the infamous They Fly Now, the dialogue in the sequels is light years better than the prequels, and is often better than the dialogue of the original trilogy as well. That's where you lost me. When you say better than the prequels, I can understand the prequels dialogue. It's not good. I don't like sand. But to say often better than the dialogue in the original, that's where I don't get it. I don't remember any dialogue from these new films, do you? What dialogue do you remember from the sequel trilogy? But we can remember the stuff that Han Solo would say in the original films. When Leia goes, "I love you," and he goes, "I know." Whether it be the confrontation between Luke and Vader, and stuff Obi-Wan Kenobi would say. I don't agree with that the dialogue in the sequel trilogy is better than the dialogue in the original one. That's not even me being, well, you're not biased, or you are biased, or whatever the hell people want to throw out to negate that. I mean, no, I don't think the dialogue is way better in the sequel trilogy compared to the original trilogy. I disagree with that at all. Every bit of it, any bit of it. Again, what dialogue do people remember? What conversations do people remember? What conversations, dialogue do they remember from John Boyega's character? That he was a janitor? Again, it's like, I don't agree with that. Number 9, the acting is superior. Another place where the sequels trilogy beats the pants off the prequels and a lot but not all of the original trilogy is in the acting department. Beyond the stars of the original trilogy, returning and killing it with Mark Hamill standing out the most, Oscar Isaac, John Boyega, Daisy Ridley, and company do an amazing job with the material, even when in Isaac's and Boyega's case, it's scant at best. The MVP is Adam Driver's Kylo Ren, who really sells the character in his tragedy. No. Kylo Ren just plays an emo bitch that people rightfully gave crap to Hayden Christensen in the prequels, and Adam Driver did pretty much the same bit as Kylo Ren. Sells the tragedy. I didn't give a shit about this character. I didn't give a shit about his whiny baby background or his history. The character seemed like a bitch. And Daisy Ridley, I don't even think Daisy Ridley killed it in the acting department, as you call it. I mean, the one I could maybe give you is a bit of Oscar Isaacs in The Force Awakens. John Boyega a little bit, but they gave him nothing to do in most of those movies. But Oscar Isaac and John Boyega, can I say they gave bad performances? No. But to really go out and say beats the pants off, no, I don't agree. Now, yes, the acting in the original Star Wars films is not Oscar caliber. Mark Hamill, the line reading, I don't do the power converters. But I still bought Mark Hamill more in that trilogy of acting than Daisy Ridley. I mean, Daisy Ridley, was she the worst? No, but it wasn't impressive as this arc was making it out to be. Was it as amazing killer, that was killer dude that you made it out to be? So I don't agree with that at all. Number 8, they're shot amazingly. George Lucas is a good director, but he has his drawbacks, and they're all over the prequel trilogy and A New Hope. How is that all over A New Hope? I don't understand that. How, for a film from 1977, I think George Lucas directed that fairly well. Again, he's never been the best with actors. I've even said that. I'm not a George Lucas apologist. I've talked a lot of shit about George Lucas. I'll still talk shit about George Lucas. His stupid fucking special editions of the original Star Wars films, the fact he wanted those original versions pretty much buried and burned and disappear, to me is ridiculous and stupid. The prequels are not high art, although I would rather watch them than the sequel trilogy. I really would. And I would not call George Lucas one of the best directors. I wouldn't. But I think his direction in A New Hope was a lot more capable than this arc was making out to be. The sequel trilogy is better shot than any other Star Wars movie. J.J. Abrams does a great job. Rian Johnson especially kills it on The Last Jedi. Some of the shots he pulls off in that movie are straight up gorgeous. Even if someone hates the movie, it's hard to deny just how amazing the movie looks. Yeah, I can deny it. I mean, if you're talking about special effects, it's not really fair to compare a movie from 1977 and a movie from 2018 in terms of special effects. That's not the director. That's the special effects makers, artists, whatever you want to call it. That doesn't really go to the direction. I mean, if you're saying that's not what George Lucas directed as a part of A New Hope, then why are you saying that's part of Rian Johnson's direction, New Hope? And if it is, then you got to give credit to George Lucas for A New Hope, because you look at what he was able to accomplish in 1977 was pretty damn amazing, if that's your criteria, Mr. Article Writer. If your criteria is, wow, he makes his shots look so cool, well then you got to give credit to George Lucas, make him look so cool with all the limitations in 1977 with this original film. With the way movies and the way filmmaking and the way things were back in the day. And again, if that's not what you're talking about, then no, Rian Johnson, if you give more credit to the effects then. And no, I'm not going to sit here and say those movies look poorly. That's the least of the film's problems. I mean, I could give you credit if I'm taking a step back. They're good-looking films. The Star Wars sequels. They're good-looking films. They should be. They came out in fucking 2018 and 2020, and they should be better-looking movies. They should. Why does that deserve a golf clap? Number 7, it's a shipper's paradise. Why is this a good thing? Shipping culture is a huge part of fandoms right now, and the sequel trilogy proved to be prime material for shippers. Early shippers putting Poe and Finn together. Or Rey and Kylo Ren, dubbed Reylo. It engaged scores of fans who would become the trilogy's biggest fans. How is this a good thing? How is this a positive? How is that making... Oh, this is what the Star Wars sequel trilogy did perfectly. Let's say, hey, someone took a dump in the middle of the road. They did that perfectly. Why are you praising it then? I don't understand why that's part of your praise. Why is that part of your praise? Hey, that movie told a dick joke. The other movies never told a dick joke. Oh, let's praise it for telling a dick joke. No, you wouldn't. The fact that you put It's a Shipper's Paradise as part of your top 10 shows... This makes this article incognito. Great. A lot of fan fiction writers will have a great spiel to dip their fucking toe in. Congrats to fan fiction writers. Well, the entire sequel trilogy is one long stupid fanfic. And that is, I remember back in the day, I'll embarrass myself, around when I first got a computer, and it was probably around 2001 or so, and what got me back into the Ninja Turtles was there was this thing called fan fiction. I'm like, okay, wow, you can actually write characters, and they don't have to be just dumb cartoons. They can actually have character development. Wow. But then the shittiest stories would be like, hey, this girl wrote her as the star, and she became one of the Ninja Turtles' boyfriends, or girlfriends, or whatever the fuck. And that's what it felt like here. Or they wrote themselves, and they saved the turtles, and they saved the day. That's what it felt like this. Let me write this, and they saved the day, and they did everything, and it was a shitty fanfic. There you go, it was $1 billion shitty fanfic. That's what the Star Wars trilogy was. Why you put that in your top 10? It was the biggest, shittiest fanfic of all. The production design was amazing. Production design was good in the original films. And most of the design wouldn't be a thing without the fucking design of this. So to say what they did perfectly and you're to like compare... The prequels had more practical effect shots than most of the original trilogy. Okay, that's flat out wrong. That's flat out wrong on practical effect shots. I mean, the one they used was the Phantom Menace, not the other two. There was a lot more digital. What the fuck are you talking about, Mr. Article Writer? The prequels had more practical effect shots than most of the original trilogy. You know, when you want to talk about production design, without these, most of the design wouldn't matter. The production design in this, the look of the Millennium Falcon that they came up with, the look of the Death Star that they came up with, the look of C-3PO and R2-D2, the look of these that they had to come up with. That's part of production design. When they're on this fat fuck's barge, all the design of the creatures and the monsters and the effects. I would say this has more creative production design than this new one, because the new one just stole a lot from this. Or Shitty Casino, if you want to prop up that design. Number 5, it brought in loads of new fans. No, it didn't. You sure about that? While a lot of older Star Wars fans were not at all happy with the sequel trilogy, it did bring in a lot of new fans, even ones who had never been into Star Wars before. A legion of Tumblr aficionados got into the movies because of the shipping potential and stayed for the stories, to the extent that they won't even consume non-sequel related material. This is a list of, like, the detriments of the sequel trilogy. That's really what it should be. Rey became the favorite character of many. Adam Driver's performance as Kylo Ren netted him loads of fans. Star Wars has always been generational. The sequels succeeded in bringing in new fans. So you could say the exact same thing with the prequels. You could say the same thing for a lot of fucking sequels. Hell, someone could take the same fucking bit and say why Scream 5 is a perfect sequel. It brought in new fans. I like this. Won't even consume non-sequel related material. So you won't see the good shit. I don't even know what to say about this fucking thing, man. CBR. What the hell does CBR stand for? CBR. I may think what it stands for, but I better not say it. Is cock reaching rejects. Well, no, that's CRR. Cock biting rejects? I don't know. Cocky butt plugging rejects? I don't know. They actually use nostalgia. Well, I'll give you that. They used nostalgia because The Force Awakens was just a remake of A New Hope. And Last Jedi and the third one, they mixed together. It's like, let's rip off this part of Empire Strikes Back. Let's rip off that part of Return of the Jedi. Let's rip off this part of Empire. Let's rip off that part of Return of the Jedi. Borrowed heavily from the original trilogy. Yeah, it was just a fucking remake. It was take all this shit here, put it in here, just fuck it. And that gets praise. While the prequels famously rhymed with the original trilogy, they did not play into nostalgia too much, as Lucas was more interested in telling a completely new story. Wow, that's such a bad thing, right? To tell a new story. The sequels took an entirely different path. Yeah, a lazier path, which we have consistently seen throughout Hollywood in the past 5, 6, 7 fucking years. So you're saying pretty much they're lazy. Well, I'll give you that. That they were perfect at that. They were perfect at being lazy. I guess they did a fucking golf clap for that for some reason. That's really what you're saying. This endeared the movies to certain parts of the audience and recaptured the feel of Star Wars that some thought was missing from the prequels. In other words, I need nostalgia because I can't move on, because I can't go to anything new. But yet we live in the past. Yeah, I like the past. I've also liked new shit too. I'm not asking for countless fucking Star Wars, Star Trek, or even not even looking for Ninja Turtle stuff anymore. Move the fuck on. The opening scene of The Force Awakens is one of the best in the saga. No, it's not. Why, because Kylo Ren stopped a fucking laser blast? And he never did that again? I wouldn't say that. I mean, the original trilogy opened up with one of the greatest scenes in cinema. Ship being boarded by Imperial forces. I mean, to say one of the best in the entire saga? No, I wouldn't agree with that at all. Empire Strikes Back, I think that's a better fucking opening with these. That's a better opening. I'll even give you your Return of the Jedi. Luke coming in and potentially being more of a badass than he ever is in this new stuff. Fuck the Phantom Menace. Well, you got to see the Jedi do their thing. I'm sorry, a guy stopping a fucking laser blast doesn't matter because nothing came of it. He got his ass hit by Daisy Ridley in the same movie. He was a pompous fucking pussy ass bitch for the sequels. Fuck Kylo Ren, he's a pussy. Goddamn pussy. 2. The Luke Ray Kylo scenes in The Last Jedi are the highlight of the trilogy. I kind of just want to stop now. I just kind of want to stop and give up. All 3 actors gave it their all for these scenes, and it shows. Even people who are not fans of how everything turned out with the subplot cannot deny that it's well acted and directed, working perfectly to enhance the story the movie's telling and standing out in the trilogy. Yes, I can deny it, because it's not as well acted as you're making it out to be. I don't think Mark Hamill is even that great in it. I don't. Daisy Ridley is not as fantastic of an actress as people making out to be. That's why she barely did any other fucking roles. And if she does, they're movies that no one watches, like that one she did with Tom Holland that barely got released. Kylo Ren, Adam Driver maybe does well in other movies, but it's like Liam Neeson, and I didn't mind Liam Neeson's Qui-Gon Jinn, but the guy did better in other stuff. And directed, what was so great about the direction of those scenes? Luke is supposed to be teaching her, but Bailey doesn't teach her shit. You have Luke Skywalker completely out of character, a guy that was supposed to did all this stuff, Return of the Jedi. So you tell me that a guy that wasn't willing to kill his own father, but he just gets a hint that Kylo Ren may be fucked up. I'll go kill him. That's good direct. Well, I guess I'm more into the writing. Who's also the director? Rian Johnson. No. It's a shitty story. It's shitty business. Stop giving it the pass. 1. It divided the fandom in ways unimaginable before. Why is that a good thing? Oh, this isn't a pro, but it is something the movies did perfectly. Split the fandom into multiple factions that all fought each other. Well, I mean, I guess he's right. From those who outright hated it, those who thought it was okay, to those who loved it, Raylos, OT purists, prequel partisans, and so many more, the sequel trilogy engaged the fandom in ways that may not have always been positive, but at least showed people still care about Star Wars. It also helped reveal and police the toxicity of the fandom, changing the way many viewed Star Wars fans and their spaces forever. There's no toxic shit. It's just people who either... a few people that say, ha, you're an asshole. Yeah, welcome to the internet. I'm sorry, did you not know the internet existed before that film was a thing? You ever been to a chat room? You ever been to, I don't know, any places called the internet? If 1 billion people are on it, there could be 1 million that will call you a fuckhead because there's 1 million assholes among 1 billion people. It's called statistics. Sorry, you don't know what statistics are. The division the sequels caused may be for the better, and it's made the fandom stronger and more willing to police its worst elements on its own. No, it hasn't. Because the biggest fucking trolls are the people writing the checks and the people behind the scenes making these fucking movies, making shittier fucking stuff. And I find ironic, the one thing I like The Mandalorian is the one fucking thing I can't buy and own. And then, oh, you buy a bunch of all this other dog shit. Made it stronger. You made it stronger? That's why people, like, don't want to see Star Wars films anymore? Because they gave up. Maybe it took this movie to be like, no, move on from Star Wars. Move along. Move along. Maybe that's like the way to stop nostalgia, is just kill nostalgia by making all this dog shit as it'll kill nostalgia for good. Hey, you love that nostalgia, now look at this shitty sequel and this shitty movie, and they kill the people associated with nostalgia. And, you know, with a thunderous applause, and they make terrible stories and overrated direction. I should have said my friend Michael Keane this. Have his head explode reading it. The 10 things sequel trilogy perfectly did. Like the way that's worded. Because it says here, there are things that the Star Wars sequel trilogy did very well. Things that even the trilogy's haters will admit are pretty great. That's the fucking tagline. Admit are pretty great. Even the trilogy's haters will admit are pretty great. What is pretty great about a shipper's paradise? What is pretty great that has split everybody? What is pretty great that they use nostalgia expertly? What is pretty great about any of that? Nobody see Force Awakens is one of the best of the saga. That's not even true. That's your opinion. You have a right to your opinion. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true at all. Yeah, some people thought, oh, that's kind of cool for what potentially Kylo Ren could be, and then he was a fucking pussy. Give me a fucking break. Break off a piece of that fucking Kit Kat bar you're smoking. Whatever. I don't know what else to say. I've ranted on the Disney Star Wars films enough. My reviews on each of those films are up. I still remember The Force Awakens when it came out way back in the day. I did a review. That review is still up. I think I called it The Full of Shit Awakens. And people told me I didn't know what I was talking about. They told me, well, you're alone because everybody loves this film. Everybody loves this film. You're like the only person that didn't like this film, and you're the only person that think this trilogy is going to end badly. Haha, how does it feel to be alone? I got countless comments about that when The Force Awakens came out way back in the day. Oh, ha ha ha, man, you know what you're talking about. Well, lo and behold, when more of that film got looked at and then all the sequels came out, I'm sitting back there, I'm going, yep, I was saying this. I said this back in the day, and no one wanted to listen to me. And if you sincerely like these films, to each their own. That's cool. But to the people that's like, you don't know what the fuck to talk about, and then, oh, well, I guess they do suck. I fucking said it. I fucking said it. No one wanted to listen. Just like I said, oh, this new Predator movie. Remember the 2018 film, The Predator? This don't be shit. Oh, you know what he's talking about. Yeah, wait till the movie comes out. Yeah, I saw that. Goddamn Predator took our arm with a thumbs up and put it in, and then took it out. Stick that thumb up your ass. Predator. The Predator. And this new film's probably gonna be worse. So yeah, fuck the Disney Star Wars films. And David Harth, I don't agree with your assessment. I don't agree how even the trilogies here will admit are pretty great. No. The dialogue is not way better. Hell, you just say fine, if you want to say the dialogue is bad, this is bad for different reasons. May not be the same reasons, but for different reasons. The acting is superior. I don't think it's superior as you're making it out to be. Oscar Isaac and John Boyega maybe had potential, but they were wasted with bad scripts and nothing to do for their characters. They're shot amazingly. I've said they're good-looking movies. If there's one of these I would give them, maybe that, but A Shipper's Paradise. Yeah, that production design was amazing. You just say the production design was amazing in every Star Wars film. You technically could. It brought in loads of new fans. You just say the exact same thing for the prequels. There's a lot of people, a lot of kids, who saw the prequels and became fans because of the prequels. But they didn't want to say anything because they didn't want people to get mad. But now that they're older, they say, "Yeah, I liked it." They expertly use nostalgia. Why is that pretty great? Luke, Rey, Kylo Cease, and The Last Jedi are the highlight of the trilogy. People who even love these films don't even fucking say that. It divided the fandom in ways unimaginable before. So what about that is pretty great? David? I don't know. I don't know. Fuck, 30 minutes. But right, of course, I let loose a fun 30-minute video. So we'll see you guys later, man. Bye-bye.